Hey, Marcy Berger, how are you?
Hi, Jack. I feel like we haven't met together in a long time. How's it going?
It was a song, we haven't met like this, and dun,
No,
dun,
we
dun,
we
dun,
haven't
dun. I think it
we
was a St.
haven't been on
Aqua song.
film in a while
I know,
together.
been busy, I know,
Yeah,
I know, I know.
together. It's been like hard.
I know. So I want to make a video, now interest rates are going up. A lot of people are exiting the residential field. We're starting to get a lot of calls from people who are in the residential field, get in the commercial field.
Yes.
And I want to talk about the differences and can someone get into the residential field? How hard is it? I don't think it's hard, so I don't want to use that word. What's it like to get into the commercial
Okay. I think
field?
that's a great topic because it's slowed up a little bit in residential and commercial is getting busier and busier.
Yeah, and I personally don't think it's that hard of a conversion. Coincidentally, you went.
Talk to our audience.
Oh, I'm sorry. I look at you.
He
You're right.
always wants
I
to
know.
talk
I
to me.
know. I know. Okay. I'm
Okay.
I'm still looking at you,
Yeah,
Marcy.
exactly.
Coincidentally, you and I both started in the residential
Correct.
field. And most of the people I was thinking about in this office, and most of the people I know in the commercial field, started in the residential field. So just a sort of a thing. So I want to kind of break down some of the differences between being a residential loan officer or a mortgage broker and a commercial, because there are some distinct differences. And I'm going to peg and say it's 80% the same, 90%, or you could pick a number, but it's somewhere the same. So do you have any thoughts on it first before
Sure.
I
guess we can talk about, obviously we could talk about doing both and focusing on what type of commercial lending
you
you
could
want
do
to
both.
do.
You don't have to do just, it's
Yeah,
not a
you
one
could
or
do
another.
both, because you do not have to be, typically you do not have to be licensed in a majority of states to be a commercial broker. That's a little bit of a difference from residential to commercial. So it allows you to seek out deals all over the United States. You can facilitate looking for lenders for your borrowers, and that's where we come into play. But to be able to switch back and forth, it's a great vehicle to have because you can place more loans and make more money. So I've been getting a lot of calls from residential brokers that in the past had shied away from doing commercial loans, and they're becoming more and more open to dealing with commercial type of borrowers. And it's been great. I just did one for someone, and it's his first commercial deal, and we're going to bring it to closing very fast because he's a great broker. He knows the business of getting a loan, and the paperwork is basically the same between a residential and commercial. It's just on commercial, you need more information on the property. So Jack, maybe you can touch on that, the difference with that, with what we would need for.
Yes, I will in a
commercial.
second, but I always forget to do this. In the beginning, I always remind I always want to tell people, subscribe to our YouTube channel
Oh.
and hit the bell or button so you get these.
Shameless.
I know,
Shameless.
100% shameless. And I apologize for interrupting it. For whatever reason, it's like a mental block. I forget to do that in the beginning. So, so you're right. A couple of the big things are that with residential self-understood, you have to be licensed. With commercial, in most of the, we're not lawyers, call your lawyer, but it's, but in, I think it's 42 states, you don't need to be licensed, something like that. Check it out there. But generally, you don't need to be licensed. As well as with commercial, there's a process to get it's a much more stringent process to get approved as a broker or as with the investors. With the commercial, it's not that stringent of a process.
Yeah.
With Gelt, to be honest with you,
we get most of our business from brokers, and we decide whether we're going to do the deal on the collateral.
Yeah, we're focused on the collateral. So a couple other things with Gelt, and I don't want to speak to anyone else. Let me back up. I'm making this all about Gelt. I don't care about the other companies. I want to help the mortgage broker who wants to convert, but I'm pushing Gelt. There's no question about it. That's why we have this big sign in the background. We want to be clear.
We're shameless.
No, it's survival. But with Gelt, another big thing, Marcy, is we do the processing. I think a lot of people are scared of commercial because they're scared. Oh, I don't know debt service. I don't know this. I don't know that.
Help you.
That's correct. We guide. That's sort of my point. I appreciate the lead-in.
Yeah.
We help you, and we'll really do. Not only do we help you, we do 98% or 99% of the processing. You're copied on everything, but we take the lead in it. So a couple of some of the differences are In commercial, so let's talk about the similarities. You know, a property is a property, a mortgage is a mortgage. But with residential, I believe, and I haven't done residential in a long, probably 20 years, but residential, you're looking primarily at the borrower's income. Back when I used to do it, we used to have front end and back end ratios 28-36. I don't know if that's still the same.
Yeah,
But with
pretty much.
is it? I don't even. It's amazing. It hasn't changed.
Yeah.
But with commercial, at least with Gelt, we look primarily at the collateral. Where my take on residential, I could be wrong. It's 90-95% borrower and 5-10% property.
Right, but in a sense, so Jack, if I can just jump in, that on the residential, as an underwriter, they're making sure the borrower can make the new mortgage payment. Okay, so on the commercial side, the underwriter is making sure that the property can make the payment. So that's the difference.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was sort of my point.
yeah.
We're focusing on the property 90% and the borrower 10%. In most commercial, it's either investment or owner occupied, business owner occupied. If it's investment, let's say it's a 10-unit shopping center or apartment building, the rents are making the mortgage payment,
Right.
not necessarily the borrower. Let's say it's an auto body or a pizza place and it's an owner occupied business, the business is making them. So in the commercial world, you have to focus on qualifying the borrower in the residential world. In the commercial world, you have to understand how to underwrite the property. You have to understand the income and expenses on the property. There's something called a debt service coverage ratio, which we made a fantastic, I must say, a fantastic video and put a
to
great
understand
spreadsheet.
really
Yeah,
what
look for
debt
that.
service is.
Look for that. And it's different, as well as we're not documenting the deals as much on the commercial side as the residential side. The appraisals are different as well. On the residential, you're looking for comps that are close and things like that. The residential, it's mostly the income approach, and you're using what's called a cap rate, which determines the value. And whether on commercial also, which is an important factor, is we do no income verifications. We do limited docs. We do collateral.
We work with you.
Yeah, we do collateral loans. We do non-recourse loans. All kinds of this stuff on the commercial side that's not done on the residential.
I mean, the underwriting is completely different.
But it's
if you're
similar.
it's
It's similar.
but
I don't
that's
want to scare
insane.
people.
If you are a broker, a mortgage broker,
Or a
residential
loan officer.
loan officer, you can adapt to commercial lending very easily. It works. I mean, you have the vocabulary, you know the process, you know how to work with borrowers. So it's definitely another vehicle out there to make money. So,
With commercial, in terms of the lenders and the wholesalers, with residential, most of the time you're selling to Fannie, Freddie, FHA, VA, and some
and then they
non-QLF.
transfer servicing.
Yeah.
It's like a
With
whole thing.
commercial, it's a little different. There's some companies who are specialists, like you may have companies who specialize in multifamily or specialize in hospitality or gas station or SBA specialist or so on and so forth. And then you have different types of lenders who some do deals that are slightly outside of a bank guidelines. And many have companies like Gelt who deals way outside of a bank guidelines. We're non-bank,
Yeah.
we're common sense approach. Our rates are a little higher, but people are coming to us for accessibility and speed. They're effectively coming us because they need our capital to make money or get themselves out of a problem. And it's much different. We're not selling our loans. We don't go by Fannie guidelines or secondary market guidelines or anything like that.
Yeah, because we process them in-house, we fund them in-house, and we service them in-house. So once your loan is with us, you stay with us until you pay us off.
Yeah. So with commercial, you may want to be a specialist and specialize on one form of financing, or you don't have to.
Well, in a sense, we have figured out that most brokers are more successful if they do focus on a particular product, because commercial lending, there's so many different products that you can't be great in every single
Did you notice
area.
that?
I know, he's like bored.
No, I'm not bored. I went out last night and I never drink, but I had a drink.
Oh, and you're suffering all day for it today?
Literally, I almost never drink. I had a drink and literally I'm at this restaurant. I start getting heat flashes. I'm dying at this restaurant. I was falling asleep. I couldn't wait. It was only like 20 minutes from my house. It was the longest.
He already started his weekend.
It was the longest drive. Literally, I went home. I said, I'm just going to bed and whatever. I shouldn't even have the one drink. I'm telling you, it's
Exactly.
unbelievable.
You
So
don't need to have one drink. You're just happy. You don't need to have a drink.
I know. I don't know what I did. I don't know. Whatever. So I'm feeling it today. My head's fine, but I don't know. It's just like
It's Friday. It's like
I
a
was
long
so
week.
tired. Oh my God.
Ready for the weekend.
My weekend's boring.
Not
Anyway,
mine.
okay, let's
Okay.
keep going. No one cares. I yawn.
Anyway,
I try to be
so
slick and cover it up.
where were we, like,
Uh,
talking here? Anyway, so the bottom line is
No,
that-
being a specialist.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Okay, pick which type of
Well,
commercial properties. Well, it's
they
important,
may
it
not
really
know
is.
in the beginning though. You know, if you're, I'm picturing, I'm a residential mortgage broker and I'm just getting into commercial. I don't know if I want to focus on hospitalities, gas stations,
Mixed-use
SBA,
properties.
mixed use. Like within hospitality, there's something called a star report. They don't know what a
Yeah,
star
no,
report is. Like
that's
Marcy,
true.
believe it or not, she's an expert on valuing gas stations because she
just
learned it because we
do
do so many of them. We
Yeah,
do so many of them.
not
So
something that I thought I would ever know.
no, but it just, so the residential guy or gal who's
Yeah.
just learning, it may take him going through 50, 100 deals.
But it's worth it. You should definitely.
And you'll learn
approach
it. Each one has each deal has its own idiosyncrasies about underwriting it, taking the application,
Mm-hmm.
the borrowers, things like that. And the values are very different, but you'll learn. So I would say to you in the beginning, you know, talk to 100, 200 leads and, you know, it'll be clear what you like to do and
Mhm.
what the appetite is. And also every lender is different. You know, the Fannie and Freddie guidelines from, I believe, are pretty much the same. But with commercial, it's totally different.
Totally different.
One lender will look at things a certain way and another lender will look at things another way.
And we'll look at things another way.
Yeah, so
I mean, it's just different.
yeah, so I always encourage brokers to really drill down the lenders and get on the phone or even a Zoom call. We love when brokers
Yeah,
ask
we
us
love to
questions.
do meetings too. Like if you're having an office meeting, well, we could be the guest speakers.
Yeah, she likes it.
I like,
I'm not a meeting person, but anyway.
yeah.
But we like to speak to brokers and really educate them on what we look for. That way they understand. You know, as well, I think it's important. Look, people don't realize, people want to get in the mortgage business. They want to make money. They want to earn their points, but some people don't want to do the work. I would tell people, if you want to make the mortgage business your profession, like an accountant, like a doctor, like a lawyer, like an engineer, any top tier professions, you can make that kind of money, but you have to take the time to learn it. What I find is a lot of mortgage brokers, to be candid with you, they don't take the time to learn it. What they do is they'll get an email full of documents from a borrower and they'll send that email to a lender and they don't know anything about the deal. They'll say, do you want to do the
Or they
deal?
don't even know like the documents and then we'll open
So-
them up and look at them and we're like, and they're like, oh, we didn't even know.
Yeah,
Like,
so my advice would be
So-
take the time to learn the deal, learn the products, and you're investing in yourself, you'll be more successful. So again, so you could either be a generalist or you could, you know, a
pick
specialist.
particular properties that you want
and
to
it-
like reach out
And
to.
it may change. You may focus on one type of property for a year or two and that market may change. You may switch direction, you know.
But that's exactly what this whole video is about. The market, the world has
Changed.
changed. So we're telling those residential brokers, take a look at being a commercial broker because there's business out there to be had and you just need to learn and look for it.
And you
So-
can make money.
Yeah.
Again,
And again, you do not have to be licensed in most states in the United States. So that opens up a whole new world for you. It
and
really
it
does.
really isn't that hard. I mean, I could do it.
No.
I'm 60. I've been doing it since I've been 20.
What? You're 60?
I'm 60.
Oh my
Look at
God.
the gray. Look at the gray. It's 60,
I work with
baby.
a 60-year-old?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
God.
I'm old. What can I tell you?
And
But
obviously you act old. You went out last night, you had a drink, and today you're like struggling from one.
no, I'm fine. Just last night, just knocked me out. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, if I could do it, anybody could do it. I'm not that smart. I have no special skills.
Sorry, don't listen to
Honestly, I
him.
didn't even go to college. I barely graduated high school. I'm dyslexic. I'm a total mess.
He's
if-
not.
I am.
No.
If I can do it, anyone could do it. It just takes perseverance. And also in the commercial area, I think this is important to talk about. Not every deal can be done. You know, if you do, we look at a ton of rural deals, just deals
No,
that
that's like a popular thing is rural. We can't do
that
rural.
it can't be done.
Yeah.
And what happens is your time is the most valuable asset you have.
So right away, if you Google and see it's rural, you're not really going to be able to place it. It's
Or
really
find a
hard.
rural lender. But my
Yeah.
point is, pick and choose what deals you work on, because what happens is you're new, you're starting out, and someone runs an opportunity by you, and you're spending all your time and energy on that opportunity.
And it's not closable.
And some
Yeah.
deals just are not closable,
Yeah.
or they're so difficult to close. So again, pick and choose what deals you want to work with, because what I think happens is sometimes people will pick the wrong deals. The first 5 or 10 deals they'll pick are the wrong
And they
deals,
get discouraged.
and they get discouraged, and they say this is too hard.
But it's not. You just have to go through it. You just have to see what's good, what's not good. And
Yeah.
when you learn and you're educated on the commercial type of properties, you're going to be able to figure that out quickly.
Yeah, don't
So-
waste time on these pie in the sky deals that are tough to do. I would focus on the bread. We made another video on this. Check it out. Focus on what can close. Because a lot of people waste time on these deals that are so difficult to close, if not
And when you say
impossible.
difficult, if there's like a tax lien, there's violation.
Well, we do-
I mean,
we do all that.
We work through it, but
But for
Yeah.
Gelt, let's do a little plug for Gelt. I think we're
Sure.
coming to the end. We focus on deals from 100,000 to 3 million. We don't do land, we don't do rural, we don't do new construction. Yeah, I mean, you're welcome to call us and say, do you do new construction?
But we
I
don't.
get literally 1 or 2 emails a day. I know you don't do this, but I thought I would ask. We don't do it. We don't do new,
Talk to you.
but we'll talk to you. Yeah. We're generally focused on the collateral. We're hyper focused on the collateral. We're not as focused on the borrower's credit. So if a borrower's in foreclosure or doesn't verify
Or
his income,
bankruptcy.
bankruptcy, whatever the borrower's story, if the borrower doesn't have all his documents in order, that's fine.
Yeah.
We're looking at the collateral. That's what we're looking at. Even if the borrower doesn't have leases and we're looking at the collateral. We're old
But
time.
let's just also remind everyone, brokers, get the story from the borrower.
Very important.
Please know all the details. Tell them to tell you everything, because you know everything, you tell us everything, then we can see if we can help. It's just that when you start a process with the borrower and we start the loan, and as we're moving along with the due diligence work, and we find out that they're in bankruptcy.
Which,
they're in
by the way, we
foreclosure,
could do that
which-
up front.
but
Tell us
we
up
just
front.
want to know up front so that we could figure out, okay, this is the play.
Tell us
And
up
this
front.
is how it's gonna go down. But it's just better to know the whole story.
Know the whole story
That's
up front.
all.
So people are coming to us for 2 reasons. One is they want to make money with our money. Maybe they're buying property at an auction, a sheriff's sale. They bought an undervalued property and they need to close quick. I can't tell you the amount of deals we close quick. It's crazy. We get calls all the time, every day.
Mhm.
Someone dropped the ball, blah, 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 I need to close quick. So they're coming to us to make money. The other people are coming to us to get themselves out of trouble. They're in foreclosure, they're in bankruptcy,
They have violations on the property.
violations on the property,
You have a tax lien.
tax liens,
Mhm.
whatever it is. So the way it breaks down, believe it or not, we track this since it's about 50-50. 50% of the people coming to us just need speed and shorted execution. The other 50% are using us to get out of trouble. Either one works fine with us. But remember, we're doing deals from 100,000 to 3 million bucks, all types of properties, again, except new development, land, and we don't do like what we call specialty products, bowling alleys, roller
Assisted
rinks,
living,
assisted
boarding
living.
rooms. I get called
Yeah.
like every day. I'm
But we're
like,
doing retail, all kinds of stuff. We operate.
medical offices.
Yep.
Strip shopping centers.
And-
Mixed use property is a big one that we will do. Not a lot of lenders will do that.
Another thing that we do, loan to value, we treat it a little bit different than most of the industry. Most of the industry, I'll give you an example. If you're buying a property for $100,000, and I'm just going to use a round number, let's say there's 65 LTV and it's worth $200,000. They're going to lend you 65,000. They're going to go 65% of the 100,000. We look at leverage. We're not as focused on loan to value. we look at leverage, what our leverage point, and this is what we say. It sounds terrible, but I'll say it on tape or YouTube. We say if the borrower gets hit by a bus right after closing, what the heck's going to happen to us? And that's what we say because we're portfolioing the loan. So if you're buying that property for 200,000, if you're buying 100 and it's rentable, that we're thrilled with that, and we'll go higher than the 65. We may lend you the 100,000. Or if you own other property, we do a ton of deals, blankets, loans. We do, I don't know the number, but I'm guessing 50% of our deals have more than one piece of collateral, and that will maybe get you to what is commonly called 100% loan to value. Or another thing is seller seconds. That gets you there too. So we look at loan to value a little bit different. We look at a leverage point.
Great. I think
So-
that's a lot of information today.
Do we leave stuff off?
I don't know, we always can make another video later in the week, so.
Later in the week. Okay, remember, when your bank says no, we say yes. We're looking to do deals. Can't do every deal, but if we can't do it, we'll let you know right away. Been doing it since 1989. Check us out on geltfinancial.com, like the YouTube, or wherever you're seeing this. There's all kinds of other places now. Subscribe to it, hit the bell or the button.
Oh, so you can get our videos when they come out.
You know, we didn't talk about forms. I'm sorry. We actually did a video on forms. A residential broker should learn the commercial world form, because the forms are slightly different. So spend a few minutes, build a forms library. We made a video on that. Look for that video. Build a forms library. That way you have all the forms needed. It's a
Or
lot.
you can email us and I can send you, our forms, and you can,
They're actually on
utilize-
our website under forms.
Okay,
You can
perfect.
download.
And then you can, utilize
Learn,
them,
learn,
you know.
learn.
Yeah.
That's the best
You
advice.
learn, you make more money. So.
Okay, have a fantastic day, everyone, and be good, be safe, and
Take
enjoy.
care.
Take care.